Turning now to the man who was the former Joint Special Operations Commander in Iraq and Afghanistan, retired General Stanley McChrystal. He's also the author of Team of Teams. General McChrystal, I want to start right away with what Lieutenant General Terry just said. He said they have halted ISIS. Do you agree with that?
Well, I certainly don't doubt what General Terry said. I would say more broadly, however, what they've got to do is halt the spread of ISIS in people's minds, because what ISIS has done more than anything is convince people around the world, but particularly in the region, that they're unstoppable and they're everywhere. And so I think the confidence of building a team is going to be the critical part.
So do you think we're approaching this in the correct way? I'm obviously at a military base. Should the military be doing what it's doing?
Well, I think there are certain military activities that are necessary, particularly in the near term. But in the more broad term, I think you need to build a coalition that is credible and legitimate across the region, the Gulf states, Turkey, the United States, Iraq, and others. Until we sense that, then I think ISIS is going to have the ability to go against what they see as a fragmented set of opposing forces.
And you've heard the numbers. You've heard how many they believe, how many fighters they believe have been killed. You were in charge of special operations when al-Zarqawi was killed in Iraq. If they find al-Baghdadi, the leader of ISIS, will that really be a blow to this type of organization?
Well, it will be a blow of a sense, because destroying an iconic leader undermines confidence. But you can't play a numbers game in this kind of effort. You can't count how many people you've killed, particularly how many leaders, because they're replaceable. What you've got to do is destroy the fabric of the organization, their ability to communicate. And that's a little bit more intangible and takes a wider, more holistic effort.
And what would you do? Talk in more detail about that, specifically this military campaign as you see it. We know what happened in Ramadi. We know it's been a year. Mosul is still under ISIS control.
Yeah, if there is a sense that our efforts of airstrikes or other special operations raids are episodic or even spasmodic, if that is the impression given, then in fact the enemy will gain confidence. We have got to build a network. As we used to say, you have to have a network to defeat a network, and that network has to be something that our side believes in and that the opposition, in this case ISIS, believes is strong enough and connected enough to be effective everywhere. That takes a long effort, building a coalition, to build a team of teams, as I'd say. Over.
Do you think we need more American boots on the ground and more towards the front lines in the battlefield?
Well, if the United States can provide help in building the fabric of this network, if that means you put small elements forward, helping Iraqi forces build confidence, but also bring in high-tech aircraft and things like that, then I think that would be helpful. It's giving the network the continuity that it needs to be effective that I think could be our biggest contribution.
Thanks very much for joining us, General McChrystal.
My pleasure.